Okay, this is just a brief attempt to try to paraphrase what Heidi and I do when we make formula for our daughter. The ingredients for the Weston A. Price formula you can get from that Radiant Life catalog website that we provided. And although in the video they only make 1 day of formula at a time, and this is the video featuring Sarah Pope from the Weston A. Price Foundation, we actually make 8 days at a time because it allows us to use the entire gallon of milk and the entire container of cream that we get from the store. The only ingredients that we actually use ourselves are the raw milk from South Carolina that we just get at that place called the Peach Stand across the street from us. And then from Earth Fare, we just get some heavy cream that is not ultra pasteurized, where the only ingredient is basically the cream itself. And one thing you need to be careful for is that the expiration date for the cream is usually only about a week out because it's not ultra pasteurized. And so you need to keep a little bit of a surplus as far as your ingredients are concerned, and as far as how much formula you have on hand is concerned. Since occasionally I've been to the Peach Stand when they don't have raw milk, and I have also had problems finding the cream from time to time. Basically, you'll need something that can have about a 2-gallon capacity. This is kind of a pricey looking mixing bowl here, but you can probably just find something on Amazon that's relatively cheap. Since we make so much at a time, we have these envelopes here that we use for freezing it instead of just putting it in the fridge. And these are a brand called Kind, K-I-I-N-D-E, right here. And then Kind comes with its own bottle warmer that does not steam the bottles. It instead just puts it in warm water, which is this little thingamajig over here. And you'll basically have 2 parts when you make the ingredients and put them all together. One will be where you put all of the cold ingredients, which is just right here. And in a moment I'm going to put the entire gallon of milk and the entire container of cream and the whey in here. And then over here you're supposed to put on the stove some sort of a stock pot, and in this you'll put in the lactose and you'll put in the gelatin, and you need to basically heat this over low heat until it dissolves. So here's the lactose here, and I can send the recipe, but I put in 32 tablespoons of this, and I put in 16 teaspoons of the gelatin right here, and then we're supposed to put in a total of 16 cups of water, but we only put in half of this to start with. And then when this is dissolved, we use the other half of the water to cool it down. So I'll just get this started. And I'll just keep an eye on this and have this over basically medium-low heat. And every couple of minutes or so, I'll just give it a stir in order to see how it's moving along and make sure nothing really sticks to the bottom. One little trick too is that when this is dissolved and then we cool it down by adding the rest of the water, they'll then have us add 16 teaspoons of coconut oil. And if you bought the extra, and it's kind of expensive, which is why it's extra high vitamin butter oil, you add that here too. But since the coconut oil is going to harden at 76 degrees or cooler, and since the milk is cold that we're going to blend this with, the raw milk, what you'll probably want to do is to actually get out a thermometer and heat it to about 110 degrees minimum, probably no more than 120 though. And so that way when you mix this water that has the lactose and everything with the milk, then you'll make certain that the resulting formula is going to be above 76 degrees, so you won't have parts of it turning hard when you try to pour it into the envelopes. So over here, I'm going to just take this gallon of milk and put the whole thing in here. And something I'll do off camera is to just taste the milk and taste the cream to make sure it tastes okay to me, even though this is... I actually drink the heavy cream myself for a snack from time to time, And this is the type of milk that I drink too, personally. And one thing that I didn't mention yet is that you do have to have whey, 2 cups of whey, and I have it right over here. But that's one other thing that you need to make at home, and that's kind of its own little topic. So I'll have to probably do another little video like this that kind of explains how to make whey. I don't think you can buy whey at the store. You can try straining yogurt that you buy at the store, but the only thing about that is that the yogurt that you buy at the store doesn't strain as well as the yogurt that you make at home, I've found. But I'm going to add the whey in here as well. I already have the ingredients kind of pre-measured here. So these are the wet ingredients, which is the olive oil, and it's the, let's see, we have the cod liver oil, and we also have the sunflower oil. And the cod liver and sunflower oil are supposed to be in the refrigerator after we open them. So that's where they are right now. And then the dry ingredients that I have here are the nutritional yeast flakes, which are upside down here. And we also have the acerola powder. And we also have one other thing that I'm going to remember in a minute. We have the probiotic stuff, the probiotic powder. So, and I also put a little bit extra probiotic powder that I just get at Earth Fare, and you need to keep it refrigerated, but I go to the refrigerated probiotic section and get Udo's Choice, and I just stir it in there every day. But this now is just all ready to go, and the only thing that we're waiting on is what I started over here with this water that I'm heating up. So now I'm going to do absolutely nothing except stand around stirring the water until it dissolves. I'm going to take this second batch of water and put it in here to warm it up a little bit. Then I'm going to add the coconut oil, and the reason it looks funny like this is because I just have it sitting in warm water to make sure it's liquid. It was not liquid until I put it in the warm water, but you can see it's now all liquidy. But I'll put this in here along with the rest of the water. The high vitamin butter oil is optional. It's kind of like ghee, but I order it and give it to Gretchen. And this is basically what it looks like. But I'll add that in there as well. And then when this is all cooled down and mixed together, I'll put the rest of that in with this, and we'll have about 2 gallons of formula. And then I will use my little immersion blender, and you can use just about any type of thing that can froth something really well. And there's the top, there's the bottom. I just stick it in there and blend it for about a minute, and then we just get a nice, really smooth texture. So that's basically what we do. It only takes me about 8 minutes to do this part, but it does take me about 20 minutes to get it all put away in the envelopes. And there's maybe about 30 to 40 minutes of getting everything out and then picking everything up again. So anyhow, that's it. And you can text us if you have questions about making the formula. And I'll probably do another little video like this explaining what I do to actually make the whey. So that's it, and good luck.